Hello everyone, this is Cesar from CesarUSA.com. The purpose of this video is to talk about relationships, things to consider before getting into a relationship or while in a relationship. So basically I'm going to talk about that. This is my website. I may talk a little bit about it later. So let's go to the subject of this video. Before even getting into that, I'd like to mention something that is something I'd like to talk, which is the path of life, or another way to say is the pyramid of life. What is that? Well, when somebody's born, there is as years gone by or pass by, the path basically narrows. What is that? Basically, when you are younger, you have a whole list of opportunities, a whole a wide path of opportunities. You can pick one or the other. For example, if somebody wants to be a gymnast, the best way is when the person is young, because that's when the body is more flexible, is dynamic, is strong, in the sense that it's able to do a lot of things that when older it would be a lot more difficult to do. So some things can be done at a young age, but no longer at an older age. So it's better to pick things sooner than later, do things sooner than later. So it's like wide at the bottom and narrow as we grow older or old. I was talking in regards to relationships. This list is not in a particular order. One thing that I want to mention is situations that happen in relationships. One of the important ones is jealousy, being jealous or not. My opinion is better not to be jealous, because you don't suffer when you're not jealous. The other person cheats. It's a matter for fights. There are some people that even kill because of that. So I think jealousy is something that cause a lot of arguments and fights, all kind of stuff. Immaturity. Sometimes the person is immature, is insecure. So there's immaturity and insecurity. Those two are major factors in a relationship. You need to look at all of those before even getting into a relationship. You need to find out those things. Are you jealous? You're not going to ask about immaturity or insecurity, but you can realize those things. If the person is insecure, things like that, or person has issues with anger. You know what I'm saying? You are talking to them and they raise their voice. They answer, things like, they get angry very quickly or very easily. So you need to consider those things before getting into relationships with a person who has a lot of issues. Envy a little bit, because what happens is that sometimes one of the persons is very rich and the other one is very poor, or the person is poor and is envious of others, neighbors and friends. It's not good to have those kind of feelings. Or if the person uses drugs or alcohol, that's a major one. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be living with somebody who uses drugs or alcohol. If he's an alcoholic or drug addict, that's not a good option to be involved with those things. Or if the person overspends, it's like the money is not. It's like money is to spend now. This should be a sense of savings and spending wisely. You know what I'm saying? Even if the person is a millionaire, it should save. It should be spending wisely, because Life is has a lot of downturns. Maybe the person is rich now, and maybe a few years later, it's broke because of overspending, or even if it is not because of spending, maybe it's the situations in life, and maybe the company loses in the stock market. The actions go down, pretty badly, and then the company gets pretty much broke. Then the person who was overspending, then he's going to be broke also. Other things that they need to notice in a relationship or in a person is poor manners. That's not good to. It's not good. Low level of education, things like that. Family getting involved. Sometimes there is a couple, and then people get involved. Don't get involved with her because she's whatever. She's not pretty, or she's not rich, or she's poor. Family gets involved. Sometimes it helps. Sometimes it's counterproductive. Sometimes friends and others get involved into relationships when they should not. Generally, they should not. People should not get involved into somebody's relationships. You know, some people get really involved, and they even make things much worse for a couple. When the couple has issues with availability in regards to time conflicts. For example, one lives in a state, and the other one had to got a job in another state and had to move, and then they are kind of separate. So and then they had to try to see each other, or maybe the job. The job is very demanding, requires a lot, even work after hours, things like that. So there's a lot of time conflicts and lack of availability. So that's one thing to consider. Say you have a very good job in location, but then your loved one is in pretty busy also. You know what I'm saying? So both of them are busy, so that could be an issue. Or if one person wants to have children, maybe one, two, three, four, whatever number of children, and the other one does not want to have any children, or have just one. So there could be a reason for, you know, arguments or whatever. Or if one already has children, or both of them have children, and the children's could be an issue. For example, the children is difficult with against towards the other. For example, the woman has a child, and the child is very difficult, doesn't want to get along with the stepfather, things like that. Also, there are some situations where there's a issue with age, um, age discrimination, age difference. For example, one is a lot older than the other, and the relationship being based on money. One being rich but older, while the other one is very young and poor. So that could be one thing, and money being the main reason for one getting with the other. So money matters and things like that. So age difference could be an issue. Sometimes one doesn't care and things like that, but other people could get involved with things like that. Height and weight, just put that there, but in general is for example, when somebody's overweight and pretty tall, the one's pretty slim, pretty thin, things like that. Then some people start commenting, oh yeah, how come you're getting with this fatty, or whatever. People get involved, and that's a pain. Or health, for example, one of them is very ill, or gets ill frequently, health issues. So that's one thing to consider. For example, somebody has a condition that is kind of recurrent, or things like that. Is one thing that you need to consider. A place and location where you live is also it's kind of along with the time availability. For example, you both live in a place that's pretty cold, wants to stay in that cold city, very cold city, say in the northern part of the country, say in Wisconsin, things like that, where it's it could get pretty cold, and the other one doesn't really want to live there, but it has to. Kind of affects the living conditions. Different tastes in regards to fashion. One wants to use the very expensive clothing, very expensive jewelry, things like that. Wants to live in the most expensive locations, while the other one, say the husband cannot or the boyfriend cannot afford it, or has difficulty affording. So one's overspending, and the other one um, trying to kind of please, but unable to please on everything. That could be a reason for arguments. One, over, asking too much from the other in regards to money. So money is a big matter, a big subject for relationships. A lot of fights, divorces, things like that have to do with money. Splitting the money after a relationship no longer works. Food preferences is not too important, but in general, say diets, say one has a particular type of diet, say vegan, the other one is carnivore. Maybe that could be a little bit difficult, cause a little bit of difficulty, say, in some situations, but it's not a major thing in general. The jobs that each one has, for example, say for example, one is the job is very conflicting. Say maybe it's works at night, the other one works during the day. So they have pretty opposite type of schedules. So a lot of things in the list is basically you need to work that out. Sometimes some things cannot be worked out, some other ones do. Time for yourself. Sometimes people you want to have your own time for yourself, want to go out with friends, and the other one doesn't, or doesn't want you to go out with friends, just stay home. So time and space for each one. Desires, wants, goals, achievements. For example, one is a pretty high achiever, and the other one doesn't want to do anything, just want to watch TV, things like that. So people, or someone who likes to travel, and the other one doesn't, wants to stay home all the time. One wants to kind of have a lot of friends, the other one doesn't want to be with anybody, just the boyfriend or girlfriend, and nobody else. So it's a lot of things that. So basically, you need to find out what the likes and non-likes and how the living conditions that the person is in and things like that. You got basically before even getting into a relationship, you need to consider a lot of things. Even for example, in regards to sex, some people like to have a lot of sex, and other ones hardly any. So that could be a major issue. Frequency, things like that. Religion, some people have one religion, the other one has another one, and that could be a reason for the family getting involved and saying, no, she's from a different, or he's from a different religion, we don't want that. So things happen regarding the religion. Politics is not too much of a issue in relationships, but one could be, for example, Democrat, the other one is Republican. Things like that could be a little bit of arguments here and there because of that. Or maybe somebody is a racist, the other one is actually not, or maybe even, let's say, a white getting married to, say, a Latina, or the opposite. There could be some issues, or maybe the race, one is black, the other one is white, or things like that. There could be some issues there. Entertainments, maybe somebody likes to go out dancing, the other one doesn't even know how to dance and does not like to dance. Is not interested, doesn't want to learn. What the main first one really loves to dance, things like that. Or maybe one likes to go to the movies, the other one really doesn't care. Or maybe one wants to go to the opera and the other one doesn't. Or maybe somebody wants to travel and the other one doesn't. So there's a lot of things that you need to consider while in a relationship, and things that could affect the relationship. So that's basically kind of a little bit of a list of, there are many things to consider in regards to relationships. So I hope that you liked the video. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.